What's going on, my Astro family? Yes, we are having another event in the skies, and that is going to be our lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces that is happening on September 17th, 2024. And guys, get ready for dramatic endings, sudden new beginnings. The full moon is going to be revealing hidden truths. Things are going to be bubbling to the surface that has always been there, but it's just going to make itself known. We're going to have to make those major decisions and transformation with regards to what this energy is bringing us. So you can expect big shifts and changes within your relationship. I'm talking about dramatic changes and transformation through the process of self-discovery. With this particular lunar eclipse, get ready for major spiritual breakthroughs and some emotional growth. And the full moon eclipse that's happening in Pisces is going to set the stage for a brand new cycle of change and a new chapter in our life. So just to give you guys a background, full moons and eclipses reveal hidden truths. So full moons and lunar eclipses are about moments of culmination when things that have been brewing under the surface come forth into the spotlight. And these types of cosmic events, they bring clarity to situations that have been unclear or unresolved for some times. So you've been sweeping something under a rug, you just haven't had the energy to deal with it. Guess what? The energy is coming because the full moon is going to intensify those emotions related to those areas in your life that this full moon is affecting. And as the energy of the eclipse stirs up drama, particularly in the areas of life ruled by the house and the sign where the full moon falls in your chart, you're going to have heightened energy. And this heightened energy can lead to an intense internal crisis. And this often reveals the gaps or deficiencies where we are lacking in our lives and are just not happy with that lack. And this can be a perfect time to dive deep into what we emotionally will require to feel complete and those areas that are influenced heavily by the eclipse in our charts. So expect I have to warn you, a temporary cloud of uncertainty because this energy bursts forward and the energy is so potent that we have a surge of emotions that makes us just irrational, and we cannot be really contain and don't really know how to navigate the energy that's happening that's suddenly being activated by the eclipse. So one important thing to remember is that when the eclipses first happen, they tend to obscure or hide our vision temporarily because there's just too much going on. And so while we might feel a strong urge to act, it's better to just sit, chill, just chillax for a minute and let our inner wisdom guide us. That might be hard to do, but if you have this information, then you're prepared, and you should know, take a deep breath and just wait until the energy passes, get a hold of it before you make major moves or whatever. So full moons, they already amplify your emotions. And, when it's combined with an eclipse, the impact is 10 times as great, 10 times as more intense. And so that means your judgment is not in the best situation. Is not oriented for you to make those choices that affects your life. So you have to take a chill pill. So rather than just rushing to conclusions, you just gotta, press pause and allow the time to reflect and trust that clarity is going to come. Right. And so when the eclipses hit, patience is the key, because guess what? You're not the only one feeling this burst of emotion. Other people are feeling it too. So they might be acting a little strange towards you, and you're looking at them like, what the hell? Like, what is their problem? Know that they are being influenced, and, give them some grace before you act and you judge their actions, because they might not be getting this information. They might not know. Know that eclipses bring relationship shifts. Lunar eclipses often highlight relationship dynamics, so they trigger moments of realization about what we truly need from our connections, which can lead through breakthroughs and breakups and sudden connections. And sometimes these realizations involves, they do involve our partnerships, obviously, with others, but they often are, as they are about relationships. It's not only about the relationships with the people that we encounter maybe suddenly or even every other day, but they're also about our relationships to the subjects that are governed by the house that the eclipses affect within our chart. And so I'm going to speak generally about how they affect every sign specifically and in a very general manner. But if you want to know how it is going to affect you, you can always book a reading with me and we can, unpack how the eclipses will affect you. So moving on though, emotional intensity of these moments can lead to significant changes, obviously. And some relationships, they probably will end by the challenges that are called forth and unearthed and are surfacing because they can no longer stay under the surface. While others, relationships might be challenged to and gain strength and a newfound understanding of what mutual needs are so that the relationship can stand on even stronger ground after you address what is needed. So dramatic changes and transformations in relationships, and that's honestly through self-discovery, because the lunar eclipse, while it focuses on relationship dynamics, we also, you can't be in a relationship, well, you can be in a relationship by yourself, but and we all have a relationship to ourselves. But what I'm trying to say is that the lunar eclipse kind of forces us to go inward and look at the things that we are not content with, the things that our soul calls to transform so that we can live a better life. So as we go through the process of self-discovery, the relationships transform dramatically. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And so during this period, relationships, they experience sudden challenges, breakthroughs and endings. Everything seems so intense and so magnified as emotions run high because of the surge from the lunar eclipse. And they give us an awareness of what we lack in our lives, and they push us into taking action to address those imbalances, and thus brings about the change and the transformation. So although the initial phase may feel chaotic or uncertain, that often leads to powerful revelations that can steer us toward a more meaningful path in life. And that is the point, guys. And so this series of lunar eclipses is going to start on the 17th of September, and they are going to stretch through 2027. So it's going to happen over a period of 2.5 years. And it is going to be in the sign in the Virgo Pisces axis in our charts. So the Virgo Pisces axis is activated, and this particular eclipse series is going to invite us to explore how well we are balancing the practical everyday aspects of our material lives with our spiritual and emotional needs. Because Virgo and Pisces, Virgo rules the 6th house, Pisces rules the 12th house. The 6th house is all about our everyday routines, our health needs, and the tools that we use to get through our material lives, while the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and that's ruled by things that are hidden, things that are unseen, the spiritual realm, our connection to the divine, and God, our higher sense of self. Our higher sense of self, and our spiritual health and things like that. So Virgo's influence focuses on the tools and the ways that the methods we use to manage our daily routines, health, and the desire for to have our materials lives run the way we want it to. And under Virgo's energy, we become more aware of the imperfections, because Virgo is all about the meticulous detail. And so we can see through Virgo, or that the energy of Virgo helps us to see the flaws and imperfections more acutely when it is activated. So, and when this lunar eclipse is activated, you're going to see without a doubt what in your life is flawed and imperfect, and you're going to want to change that. And on the opposite end, Pisces governs, like I said, our spiritual lives. And this is emphasizing our connection to the divine, our intuition, and our emotional and spiritual health. And so what this is going to be, let me just continue on now. Well, Pisces energy also allows us to see the beauty in imperfection and chaos, while Virgo is like, no, we need order in the court. Okay, order in the court. So this eclipse is encouraging us to seek harmony between the material and the spiritual realms. That's what it's calling us to do. And so focusing too much on either end of the spectrum, whether living in chaos or becoming too, overly rigid, that's going to create that imbalance between that realm of the material world and the spiritual world. It's all about finding the balance there. And then as we move into this conversation with you guys, how our everyday lives with regards to the area that it's affecting in our chart, like how are we focusing there or not, to the point where it's giving or detracting from our spiritual needs, our spiritual, mental, and emotional health, right? That is what this eclipse is going to be, working with through us, right? It's going to ask us to find a sweet spot between spiritual fulfillment and our daily responsibilities. If you're too focused in your daily, but you're neglecting your spiritual health, that's a problem. You're going to find breakdown with regards to how those are affecting you. And we have a little bit of nuance here because we have the lunar eclipse is going to be connected to Neptune, which is aligned with the moon, and the influence of Neptune is going to add a layer of fantasy and idealism as it rules Pisces. So honestly, I think that it's going to have a layer of divine connection associated with it. So I think there's going to be like sudden revelations and sudden breakthroughs spiritually that you're going to have with regards to where these areas touch in your chart. And it's also aspecting Jupiter, and Jupiter's job is to expand or to exaggerate whatever it touches. So that's this energy is going to be on 10. It's going to be even heightened even further. And it's also being aspected by Uranus in a pretty desirable way. So I think the changes will come about somewhat easy. Okay. This lunar eclipse is also giving us spiritual insights. And like I said, I already said that, but spiritual insights, which is leading to emotional growth. So the events around the eclipse are likely to push us toward greater emotional understanding and spiritual connection from within. So we may realize that in order to feel fulfilled, we need to pay attention to our mental and emotional well-being. We got to let go of stress, and we got to become more passionate to ourselves. We have to learn self-compassion and towards others. And so at this time, we're also going to have to take a break, possibly from the daily grind, and focus on nurturing our spiritual needs, right? We can't be so wrapped up in the material that we're neglecting our spiritual needs. So this is going to allow for personal growth and deeper connections also to those around us. And maybe we're going to sever ties to those around us and our relationship to things in our environment that's not contributing to us spiritually, that we're just way too focused on in this material world. So, guys, this, like I said, cycle is going to bring about the beginning of a new journey. Okay. So this eclipse will set the tone for your life that's going to carry on until 2027. And it's all about how we navigate our material life and in a way that enriches us. And so although changes may feel big now, they're opening doors to new experiences and fresh perspectives and ultimately a better life. And so as we dive deeper into this lunar eclipse, let's talk about how it's going to affect your sign. So you can see how it's going to influence your path forward through the next 2.5 years through 2027. Let's get it, guys. What's going on, Sag? How are you? So what does this Pisces lunar eclipse on September 17th, 2024 have in store for you? I could tell you major transformations, drama, big shifts, and huge realizations. This is a lot of energy happening for better. It might feel a little chaotic at first, but it's ultimately for your own good. And this eclipse is going to be happening in your 4th house. And actually, as the eclipses in Virgo and Pisces unfold, they're going to be unfolding in the axis of your 4th and 10th house, which is the axis of your home and emotional well-being, and your personal and inner life, and your public life and career, right? But again, on the 17th, the lunar eclipse in your 4th house is going to be highlighting your family, home life, and your personal foundation. Things that were hidden there in your domestic sphere will things that were hidden in your domestic sphere are going to be coming to the surface, probably starting a week before and up through a week after the eclipse. Don't move on any big emotions that you feel. You're going to want to feel an urge to just make sudden moves. Don't do it because you don't have all the information in the middle of the eclipse. So it's just advised that you just don't do anything sudden the week before and the week after the eclipse, right? So again, things that were hidden in the domestic sphere is going to come to surface, requiring you to address them head on. You might face a family matter that demands immediate focus, such as a situation involving a parent or a significant home-related project. There could be unexpected developments around your living space or personal property, pushing you to tackle things that you've been avoiding. You knew that they were there. You probably were wanting to get to them, but now it's like the eclipses are making them impossible for you to ignore. So I'm not telling you to ignore things. I'm just saying just wait till the energies die down until you move on implementing a solution or trying to find a solution to whatever challenges are presenting. There could be unexpected developments around your living space. I already said that. The dynamics at your home, they're definitely shifting, and they're shifting big, right? It's making it essential to give more attention to personal matters that you neglected. I can't say that enough. That's what the eclipses are doing. So the issues with your home and personal life are definitely front and center. So you may have to manage repairs, resolve family disagreements, or make changes within your living environment. This is not just a one-off eclipse. Like, you're gonna have major transformation in your home and your career axis. It's happening. And there's going to be major. So just be on a lookout for that. It's going to require you to find striking a balance between your career and your home life. That's going to be critical. At this time, you have to make sure that the activities that you partake in every day are not draining you spiritually. That's what these eclipses are making you focus on. So your home life, you know, can't the day-to-day in your home life can't drain you spiritually, so that you're not giving what you need to give at work, and your work routines and your career can't suck life out of you to where you're spiritually not able to give to your home life. Something or the other is happening in there where you're going to have to find the balance, and where you're going to have to seek that spiritual nourishment, so that the polarities between those two houses are healthy, from from the basis of having a spiritual, from being spiritually nourished. Okay. Emotional clarity and domestic stability is at the forefront right now. So the eclipse is going to bring to light emotions regarding your family relationships and living situations, deep emotions, heavy emotions. And again, like, that's happening over the next 2.5 years. So strong feelings about your home and emotional needs are going to become apparent, guiding you to make necessary adjustments. Like, are you focusing too much at work to where you're neglecting home? I don't know. That might show itself. Okay. Whether you're fixing a family issue or making changes in your living space, the eclipses could, focus on something there as well. So it's going to encourage you to take the steps that you need to take to address what's coming up. But big transformations in your home environment. Yep, that's happening. So you're going to be releasing old beliefs and habits related to home and family. And it's going to allow for growth and improvement within your home life. The eclipse is helping to remind you how important it is to create a secure and nurturing home environment, right? And that's going to motivate you to focus on building that solid foundation there, or repairing the foundation there. So I ultimately, I think it's all good, because I think you're going to get spiritual revelations on what you need to be doing to solidify and secure your home environment. Okay, whether it's going to be through renovating this space or strengthening your family ties, whatever actions you're going to be implementing once you get the clarity that you need after this lunar eclipse, it's going to promote the stability you need there, or begin to anyway. So you're actually definitely going to be called to work to balance your work and family life. This eclipse is going to ask you to begin to find harmony between those work responsibilities in your home life. Okay. And like I said, if your job has been taking up too much of your time, that's going to shift. Yep, it's going to shift. So that you can nurture your home front. Okay. And so if you got any value from this conversation, Sag, I want you to write in the comments embracing the transformation, because the transformation is ultimately good, right? So I'm hoping I'm connecting with you guys. The only way for me to know that is if you interact with me through the comments. I love to have a conversation with you guys. So in the comment section, guys, embrace the transformation. And until next time, keep your hearts open and your spirits connected.